thank you for making this channel a success. It's because of you that I'm encouraged every day, every moment to set an episode, to engage in a conversation that has to do with people, athletes, professionals, amateurs, and all walks of life. We're in a mixed bag of life, and I think success should not just be seen in the medals or times or championships. It should be seen in the context of humanity. And because of that, I'm delighted to be part of that narrative, part of that conversation, be in the middle, front and center of it all. And I think this is where I kind of say thank you for those who are engaging me in a conversation in comment section. The like button going up for me is great. You know that works in this day and age. It's about traction and creating an environment that is active. And when people comment on my channel, it's exciting, and I appreciate that. It's motivating, it's exciting, and it triggers some things. And today, I think it triggers something that I think I don't mind sharing this since you are aware and you are part of the global village. The global village is very selective in memory and views. I think we get overwhelmed. And when we're talking of athletics, we are talking of gatherings of championships, Winter Olympics in Milano, Italy. I think we get caught up in the ice, the skatings, the cross country, everything. I'm not watching it. I don't have the capacity to watch the Winter Olympics, but I'll give myself a chance to catch something, one or two. I shared a tabloid thing that was way off. If you check my episode of the anatomy gone rogue. Anyway, that was just almost a satire or some comedy somewhere in the world, and people like that. If you remember the World Championship or Paris Olympics, where a pole vaulter anatomy assisted him to get over the hump. That was funny. It remains funny. We're always looking for those moments that makes even the non-sporting world wake up. When it comes to human anatomy, man, talk of salivating. People just gravitate. People like, give us more of that. Give us more of, give us more of a Janet Jackson halftime show. Give us more of. You remember that one? Was it in New Orleans? When, what was his name? The halftime show, and the nipples were nipped by the other performer. But let's get serious in sports. If you've been around like me, if you're coming from the antiquity and you're a dinosaur like me, well, I could be a dinosaur depending on the museum you visit. In sports, Olympics historically has been quite interesting. It has all kind of tones that can take over, and these Olympics of Winter Olympics is no exception. Because we tend to forget that Ukraine is under siege. Um, in the Middle East, the Gaza Strip, South Sudan, Congo. There's some very, what do you call it, very active parts of the world. Not just active like volcanoes. People are dying. People are being bombed out of their homes. There's a protest in Tehran, Iran. Um, Venezuela has no president. Some people just don't have this luxury of being in Korea talking about sports day and night. And Super Bowl is not super to many people. Some people don't even have time to breathe. Their children cannot even enjoy a moment in the playground. And Ukraine has been under this duress for a long time. So other parts that I've just mentioned. And we tend to forget that in sports. We're like, oh man, just give me something I can celebrate, something to be excited about. Let's get excited about um, remembering some of these events, some of these tragedies around the world. And so in Ukraine and the Olympics in Milan, there's a protest going on. in memory of those who have perished or died in trying to secure their country that has been under siege from Russia. And I'm reading something here of Ukrainian athletes who have stepped up their defiance of International Olympic Committee rules banning them from protesting against Russian invasions while in competition amid growing anger over a decision to ban a helmet of memory for the country's war dead. If you remember 1980, was it 79 when Russia invaded Afghanistan and the world stood by Afghanistan, and I think the Olympics were in Moscow, and the world boycotted that. People said, "Oh, we're not going to Moscow." That has been the way people have stood against injustice or any invasion, any international violations of the law. South Africa, you think of 72 or 76 when African countries, boycotted Montreal because Canada was in bed with the apartheid regime. Olympics is a political party in the world. The IOC committee is a mafia committee. I don't think they care. They care about organizing it, but they don't care about the athletes and their injustice that they come from. And if you talk of FIFA, FIFA is a mafia controlled entity. People talk of football as a beautiful sport. It is beautiful, but it is not organized by beautiful people. It's masqueraded as a mafia organization. Don't get me started on that one. So I'm reading this and I'm really standing in solidarity and acknowledging these Ukrainians that they are pretty much saying, don't forget us. And here in Tukoriada, we are not forgetting Ukraine. I've always tried to give them a voice, give them a space. And for those who watch me, I'm always very engaged. Sometimes I go off rails, which is part of being human. And to see Ukrainian athletes reminding the world that Olympics can be going on in Italy, but there's no Olympics in Ukraine because of Russia and their invasion. And this is just how Russia has been for a long time. It's not the first time they've done this. They did it in Afghanistan, I say, in 1979, and they're doing it in Ukraine. Notoriously slow. Notoriously so. So the images on the helmet include those of the weightlifter Alina Perekodova, the strongman Pavlo Estrochenko, and the ice hockey player Oleksiy Lokinov, who have all been killed. I have to mention those because that's what we do here. We acknowledge that. And to hear IOC fighting them, I don't understand these committees. Who make up these committees? What kind of rules? When you think of Munich, the massacre, people protest. We always protest. People, it's stupid democracy. People should be allowed to protest. It doesn't take away from the Olympics. People can have sports and at the same time protest. 1968, the Americans, they felt they were not part of the country that was down there in Mexico. You can go on and on. It's the story of our lives. You can go to Jesse Owen in Berlin back in 1936. Hitler is standing there. He walks away because he can't stand seeing a black man win against the Aryan nation, debunking the mythology. This has been going on for a long time. Like I say, boycotting Olympics because people feel those countries went to bed with, those tyrants. It's an ongoing struggle. I have to bring this up because that's what I do. And to hear the spokesperson of IOC, Mark Adams, saying that the helmet was banned, I don't get it. Anyway, I had to mention those athletes who have perished. I repeat, Alina Perekodova, strongman Pavlo Eschesko, I hope I'm saying it right, and ice hockey player Oleksiy Lokinov, who have all been killed by Russian invaders. Anyway, I had to bring that out just to have a conversation and to remind you that peace is very selective these days. Some people don't have that at all, if at all. So here's another thing I want to talk about maybe before I wrap up today. Let's think about Hobbs Kessler. He has a coach, Pat Hanna. His father was a coach. His name, Kennedy? Oh, I forgot his name. What is dad's name? His dad's name is Mike Kessler. He used to work with his dad. Talking of the world record holder in 2K about 3 weeks ago when he broke the 448. Now he has a coach, Pat Hanna. You remember, I think Mo, 800 meters runner, Olympiad 2021, upcoming athlete, Bob Cousy, the coach. I'm just mentioning coaches and athletes, just trying to put them together. Josh Owie, the world record holder indoor, had a coach, Ronaldo, the Australian, fired him or let him go, and he decided maybe to get another one or to be with no coach for a while. I suspect Shakara Richardson as a coach. Maybe Dennis Mitchell, I'm not sure. Ruth Chemngetich, busted for doping. Did she have a coach? I think he did. It could be an Italian Rosa, Dr. Rosa, the Italians. I'm not sure, but I think that is a Dr. Rosa, who's been with Kenyan athletes for a long time. I'm putting these coaches and athletes together to have this conversation. How much do we attribute these athletes' success to their coaches or just the athletes? Is it 20% coach, 80% athlete? Or it could be higher for coach. You can say 30, 40. Okay, so you give 40 to a coach and 60 to the athlete. You combine that, you see success. But you still have to combine that when there's a problem. You cannot just combine those 40 and 60 when they are moving up the podium. You have to look at it too when they go down. And I think this conversation was challenged a little bit and brought up by, what's her name? The 200 moving up. Gabby Thomas challenged us to look at holistically the athletic world, the athlete. They are never alone. They are never alone when they succeed, right? So they can never be alone when they don't succeed, when they're having problems. We cannot just pick and choose when they are with their coaches. Just when the anthem is being played, or when the times are exciting, and when they are doing good. Let's just keep them together at the hip, okay? I'm bringing this because when Bob Cousy took over, I think more for 2-3 years ago, there was no success at all. You can check some of my episodes. I've been very hard on this guy, Bob Cousy. He's great in his own way, but he did not help the cause, and that's why they parted ways the late part of last year. Josh Owie felt the same about Rinaldi, the Australian. Well, let's part ways. Kessler maybe felt the same thing about his dad, went to Pat Hanna. On and on, Ruth Chemngetich with Rosa and the coaches. So I'm saying when she was caught with doping herself before the marathon and the world record, where is the coach? When more thing when, she went flat, her career was just stagnated for a long time. We have to say Bob Cousy was part of a problem. The reason why I'm saying this is this. If you check my episode a few days ago after Miro's mile, the Wanamaker mile, I was very candid and very open. I was very concerned about Hobbs Kessler running that mile. Why? It is a week after he ran 448 in the 2K, broke the world record. And I was very iffy about pushing himself to think because he has that momentum, that explosion that he was talking about. He's going to do it again in the mile. He fades in the home straight. Yared Nogusa nips him. He comes third, but he's paying the ultimate price. Apparently, allegedly, reading some of these channels, some of his online stuff, he's having an injury problem in the calves. Check my episode. I told you guys, this is what happens when you get greedy. When the coaches don't take over and rein you in. Josh Owen chose not to run the 800 or any event after 142.5. He said, nope, time out. Got to go celebrate my 142. Great record. It's been standing since 97. Celebrate that. Take time out. You did very well. He maxed out. Hobbs Kessler took a risk, and he might be paying the ultimate price. He might be sidelined for a while. People think these injuries just happen. Ask Jakob Embrusten. Ask that guy from Norway. Those injuries might look small. They might look like, I'll come back next week. So you push it again. Jakob might be done for a long time with the Achilles problem. This is a problem, and coaches are not being held accountable too. Okay? I'm just trying to put these people together. You cannot pick and choose when they are going to stand on the podium together. You have to choose to put them together when they're in the cesspool of poo-poo, when things go wrong, when they are speeding on the highways, when they are getting dope busted, when they're having injuries. They have to stand together, coach and athlete. You can never separate the two. That's the conversation I'm having, and that's my observation. I observe from a distance, not because I'm a specialist. I don't specialize, but I've been cautious because I've been caught with my pants down many times as an athlete back in the days, being greedy, chasing the dollar. I got caught when I was in Europe, and I've never been the same. My career went down because of a hamstring problem. That's why I think coaches, as much as they give them these workouts, they are physios. You hear from a Chelsea players being told you can't play for something, is they're protecting the athlete's career. They know they want to play. But Cole Palmer is being told, no, you are not ready. You can say you want to go race in Mirrors. Pat Hanna could have told Hobbs Kessler, no, time out, dude. Let's take a break. Let's take a break to recuperate and recover. People forget. I'll reemphasize this. The best time for an athlete to get better is when they're resting. Did you hear that? People don't talk that well. Even Josh Owie, I was concerned about him questioning the workouts that the coach Ronaldo was giving him towards the Nationals last year. That he was like, why you not give me these hard workouts where I'm running 40, 46 and then come back and rest and run 47 in the 400? Did he go to Tokyo? No, he didn't, because the coach told him, that's not the way I do my thing. You always need that person, that badass coach that will tell you, nope, you do it, but I'm not part of it. That's a good coach. You can do it. I won't chain you to a bed or whatever. I won't lock you up. But that, what you're about to do, will cost you. I have a coach to this day from college career who protected me for a long time, but he wasn't with me in Europe. I was reckless. I was young. I was feeling good. The money was looking good. Milrose money could have been good for Hobbs Kessler, but it's done for a while. That's the injury report. Coaches and athletes taking a risk. That's the conversation. What do you think? Am I off? Don't forget Ukraine, my friend. Don't forget the coaches. They are part of the athlete's life 24/7 until they are fired. What do you think? Am I off? Bob Cousy, I think Mo, Hob Kessler, Pat Hanna, they are joined at the hip. That's my conversation. Thanks for your comments, man. Give me something to chew on before I get back with you in the next episode of Tukoriada. May we have a moment of silence for the fallen in Ukraine. Peace and love will triumph one day.